But oh, you beauty! What a head, son! What a head!
Yes, guys, welcome back to Onto the Ball for Liverpool 3. Sheffield United 1. James OB joins me as normal for Liverpool podcasts. OB, it should have been more comfortable than that. Jesus wept. Every time I was thinking back to the Arsenal game, they slapped them 6-0 away from home as well. And I was thinking, why for once for us, for Liverpool fans, can it not be simple?
Because that's not the way we like it. We have to go through all this. Klopp plays the way he plays. He makes sure that we're all entertained, and that with that comes a little bit of danger. You could see that equaliser coming. It was one of them games where we had all the ball in the first half. Dominated. Was it 83% possession? Something ridiculous like that?
I think it was 91% at one point.
That's absolutely farcical. And then we've ended up with a situation where they've equalised after a deflection. The ball wasn't even going in, let's be clear.
Oh, and horrible, wasn't it?
It was just one of them. There's not a lot you can do about it. But we score lots and lots of goals, and everyone's seen the graphic now. There's like 26 goals after 75 minutes, which is absolutely unbelievable.
There's two things that I love, OB. It's when they put that graphic up on 75 minutes and when Harvey Elliott's on the pitch. They're the two things I like to see, and I think it's in the bag. Don't even worry, Scott. Chill out.
Exactly. Harvey Elliott, great impact sub. Macallister is in absolute unbelievable form. I thought the energy was good tonight overall. I thought we played well. I think there's questions still over Gravenberch a little bit.
Oh, he was awful. He was awful. I tweeted he's like Ali Dia. Do you remember who Ali Dia is?
Yeah.
The Southampton player.
Yeah. But for me, I mean, it's one of them that he's been so stop-start that
I don't care, OB. I don't care. For the 5 minutes before that goal, he shit out of about 4 challenges. He gave the ball away about 9 times. And I was thinking, get this kid off quick. I don't know what's happened to him. I don't recognise this Gravenberch that started the season. I thought he was horrendous. The next minute, it's 1 each, and he's getting hauled off a minute later. I just thought, what a dreadful night from Ryan Gravenberch.
If you're getting badly injured, don't care who you are. It's going to take a lot to just continue to go into challenges. He got caught by that Holgate, and I'm going to come back to that Holgate in a minute, Scott. Remind me to do so, because he is a horror show waiting to happen. How many?
Is he still an Everton player?
I have no idea. I hope he's not a lot Premier League player for much longer, because he is a horror show waiting to happen. But he caught Gravenberch. Was that in the first half? Caught him really badly on the ankle,
yeah. And
you can see Gravenberch after that become a different player. Now, for me, the guy's been injured a lot. He's 20. What is he? 21.
Yeah, he's like Harvey Elliott type age. Do you know what I mean? And we talk about him like he should be the finished article.
Yeah, and he's getting caught. And I think when you're talking about him pulling out of tackles, I think that affects the confidence. Don't care who you are. You're thinking to yourself, I'm going for this tackle, I'll win this tackle, that's great. And I'm going to spend another 4 months on the sidelines because this guy's going in with his studs a little bit up and just basically looking to hurt me constantly. And I could sense that of Holgate. And I sense that of Holgate every single time I've bothered to watch Sheffield United play. He just looks like he just wants to hurt players, and it's just not right. It isn't right. But at the end of the day, he gets what he deserved, which is nothing. Go home with his tail between his legs, and Sheffield United obviously are going to go down. I think the rest of the team show themselves to have quite a lot of spirit. Ultimately, we give them a run around and we might go marching on towards the title.
The title, indeed. You always bring me back down to earth, OB. I appreciate that. Obviously, Gravenberch, he's finished. A crap signing. Put him in the bin with Naby Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain. You just made some good points then. And as always, I'll take them on board and try not to overreact. But yeah, on to winning the league. OB, we're going to win the league with Connor Bradley, Keomin Kelleher. I can never say his name. and Jarrell Kwanzaa playing about 20 league games each, aren't we?
It's bonkers, isn't it? It's absolutely bonkers.
This is crazy. It's mad. I don't believe what I'm seeing, to be honest.
It's absolutely crazy. And I mean, I don't know how far away Alisson is from being fit. It hasn't so far, touch wood, impacted us. And that is absolutely astonishing. And that says a lot for Kelleher. And his value's just gone up and up and up. And his value to the squad.
To be fair, we're protecting him a lot, though, aren't we? I mean, obviously, Van Dijk will get on to. He's back to being the best, not only the best defender in the world, but maybe even the best player in the world. If Phil Foden was being talked about the best player in the league for scoring a couple of goals against Man U, and now he scored a hat-trick again last night. We're speaking about Macallister that we'll get onto. I think he might even be the best player in the league now. But for what Van Dijk does and brings to his team, why is he not getting talked about as the best player in the world?
No, I don't disagree with that. But if you go back to early on in the game, first couple of minutes, he made a big save, didn't he?
Yeah.
And it's moments like that. So Van Dijk's doing what he needs to do. He looks like he's in control. But he's also built a certain amount of confidence to know that the one or two times that we are in trouble, he's going to bail us out. Now, he had no chance. He couldn't do anything about the goal today.
No.
That's outside of his control. Let that go. You know what I mean? A deflection from that distance. Bradley was unlucky as well. I think overall, defensively, our performance was good. I think we let the game go a little bit ragged and Klopp reacted accordingly. But the strength he's got from the bench makes a massive difference. Van Dijk looks like he's back to his imperious best. And it doesn't matter whether he plays with Konate or Kwanzaa. They're both very, very able defenders. They both play well with him. A lot of strength for winning the ball in the air a lot. And we've got pace at the back, haven't we?
Yeah, massive pace. I was quite surprised he started Konate, to be honest. I thought this, I mean, I'm sure everyone thought it, because obviously Kwanzaa's been playing well. It's Sheffield United, bottom of the league at home. Obviously, we've got Man U in less than 72 hours time. It just felt like it was a game too soon for Konate, even though he played 90 minutes for France, but it seemed a bit of a risk. So when he took that heavy challenge in the second half and he was down for 3 or 4 minutes, I was thinking, oh, here we go.
I think it also says that Kwanzaa's likely to start on Sunday, unless there's an injury we don't know about. I would suggest that he's going to give Kwanzaa the nod on Sunday. He's not going to risk Konate 2 games running. I wouldn't have thought after coming back.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think Kwanzaa will start Sunday now off the back of that. You start with Van Dijk and Kwanzaa at the back.
What a nod of approval that is for Kwanzaa in terms of his confidence. We're saving you for Sunday away at Man United, Old Trafford.
Absolutely. Well, that's what I think anyway. Just judging by, if you think where Konate is, it was a game for him to come back and sort of find his feet again with a team. It wouldn't surprise me if he mixes up a little bit for Sunday as well, and maybe starts with Robertson and goes with an older head in that type of environment. And he probably played Gravenberch tonight because he's not going to play him Sunday as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Elliott got the nod.
Hope not.
Or I know. But Elliott might
Curtis
get
Jones.
the nod.
Curtis Jones is back in the
absolutely
back in the picture, and he's a Klopp favourite, isn't he? Especially on that left-hand side of the midfield.
He got minutes. I'd also suggest as well that he took Salah off on 60 minutes to save him for Sunday. I mean, there's an argument, and I know a lot of people won't go with it because he's not flavour of the month at the moment, but Cody Gakpo could be the player to play Sunday and sneak into that team. I do think that Nunez, the game might not suit him on Sunday. I really do. I think that he might be the one to maybe come off the bench and give us that impetus if we're struggling, or give us that burst from 60 minutes. Our 2 best super subs this season have been Elliott and Nunez, haven't they? When they've both come off the bench. So why not go into that game and look to do what we do best and play well, do well, 60, 70 minutes, and then just bring on players of absolute quality. I mean, there's an argument to be said for it. Whether Klopp does it or not, who knows? But that was a good performance tonight against a very spirited team. And they've had a bit of luck. They made the most of it, but they defended really strongly throughout the game, and eventually we broke them down.
I was thinking of comparing Joe Gomez to Jamie Carragher in his pomp. Left back, right back, centre back, even CDM. Carragher started his career as CDM, didn't he? For England under 21s and stuff. And just as I was thinking it and purring over him, he got turned inside out for their goal. And I thought, Joe, come on.
Yeah,
Jesus.
exactly.
Just as I'm about to write in my Liverpool group chat how you're probably our most underrated player, he gets turned inside out. But to be fair, we couldn't do anything with that own goal, could we? But it wasn't nice to see him get turned inside out. It was a bit lazy.
Yeah, exactly. And he's also got that thing of never scoring goals, much like Carragher did have as well for a long, long time. So it does kind of have a resemblance of what we've seen with Carragher. Carragher made mistakes as well, but I think Gomez is honest. He's a good player. I think the inverted fullback seems to suit him really, really well because he's got a good engine on him, a lot of pace.
He loves it, doesn't he?
Yeah. And he can get up and he can get back. And he seems to he's got a good passing range on him as well. He's no slouch. And I never believed he was a centre-back. And I said that to you many, many times. I always believed he was better as a right-back. He's shown he can play on the left-back, and now he's showing he can play in midfield. I'd be very surprised if Southgate didn't take him because of the ability for him to play across sort of 5 different positions in a team. He can also play in a centre-back as one of a 3, and that's been proven before with England, and Southgate liked him for that. So I think Southgate will probably get him into the squad in the summer just simply because of the versatility. That's providing Gomez stays fit.
Definitely. I was thinking during that game as well when I was running away with my thoughts, if we had a cup final next weekend, Gomez would be starting, wouldn't he? It wouldn't be a question of if he was starting. If everyone was fit, I think it would be Trent right back, Kanate, Van Dijk, Gomez. I think Robertson and Bradley would be the ones missing out.
Yeah, probably. Which it's astonishing in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, what a turn of events for Joe Gomez. I mean, it's mad to think he was here when Brendan Rodgers was here. I mean, that is nearly a decade ago now, and he's still only about 26. Did we sign him when he was like 15, 16 or something from Charlton?
Signed him from Charlton when he was really, really young. He must have been 16 when we signed him.
Yeah. And he made his debut at left back, if I remember. And just look at what 17 people watching. Cheers for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to smash the like. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. Szoboszlai, Obi, I'm so happy. I feel like he's played his way back into form. His energy, confidence, snapping into tackles. He's a different person, different player to what he was about 2 months ago, isn't he?
He is. It makes you wonder if he was carrying an injury or something because the distances he's covering, and you don't see as much of the distance graphics come up, but I wouldn't be surprised if he covered more than anyone else today because he covered a lot of distance.
And there's a nod to him as well. Like he took him off with Salah, Szoboszlai. So you can see Klopp is really regarding him as one of his go-to players, especially for Sunday.
I've got no doubt that him and Macallister start in Klopp's team on Sunday as a midfield. They work well together. The movement and the interlinking between them and the fullbacks and the strikers is really, really good. It'll just be interesting to see who the other one is. Is Endo injured then?
I think he's got a knock, yeah. He wasn't on the bench, was he?
No. So I assume that means that he's unlikely to play on Sunday. I mean, it would be good if Endo was back because I think that is probably our best starting.
Oh, definitely, without
midfield.
A doubt. Endo, Mac and Sobbo.
Yeah, I mean, the only argument's probably Jones and Elliott coming into that. But I'd probably go with that. And I mean, if Endo does turn out to be fit and it's just a resting situation, I think it's worth getting him back in. I think Mac's a great player going forward. I mean, but he's so good in the CDM role now as well. Yeah. It's like he's adjusted and able to do it. Did you see that run back where he went back and he won the ball back?
Yeah. And then Gravenberch lost it another 10 seconds later. And I'm thinking, come on, Grav. Help him out, all that effort, and then you lose it again 10 seconds later, man. I was furious with Gravenberch.
What makes me laugh about Macallister is he always looks tired.
Yeah.
You zoom in on his face, and his face naturally goes really red.
Yeah.
and his hair looks all scraggly, and he looks like he's knackered. What makes me laugh about Macallister is he always looks.
The hell is that?
You can zoom in on his face.
Just tuned on to my lad's Alexa. Yeah, Macallister. I mean, are we getting carried away in terms of calling him the best player in the league? I mean, I know I get carried away, but Jesus wept. If you're talking about having a player in your team right now, you're picking Macallister over De Bruyne, over Salah, over
that's
Foden.
A big call, isn't it?
Over Saka.
For me, if right, so this is a big if. I mean, I was joking earlier on when I think we're going to win the league. I'm really, it's still up in the air. If I had to put my mortgage on one of them, I'd probably still go City, but it could be anyone out of the three. If we won the league, he's probably he's definitely our player of the year, but he's probably the league player of the year. You know what I mean? So it'll be the one that's voted. I really do think.
You think he's got his hat in the ring for like players' player or football writers' player of the year?
Because tell me who has had more of an influence on any one team in the league. Rodri at City, but he was out for a bit, weren't he?
De Bruyne, forget he's been injured too long. Saka, Rice,
Foden,
Saliba, Foden.
Yeah, I mean
Van Dijk.
Yeah, I mean the other calls would be Saliba and Van Dijk for me, and possibly Gabriel as well, who really goes under the radar. He's a great defender, and he kind of seems to be considered the second defender in that centre back partnership. I don't see that at all. I think he's probably one of the most improved centre backs I think I've ever seen, and yeah, it would just be interesting. I think literally a case of who wins the league. You then pick a player from that team, and if it's us, I think it's Macallister. I really do.
Van Dijk. I mean, that's ace, considering what we were thinking maybe like a month or two ago, Van Dijk, and I've just started the show by calling him maybe the best player in the world, not just the best defender in the world. But I mean, when you need a big goal as well in a game, and I'm not just talking about like against a top six, obviously we're playing bottom of the league, but you're at home, it's past the 75 mark, it falls to Alexis Macallister, and you're just like crossing your fingers, crossing your legs, saying just leather that top corner. And then when it goes in on Twitter, everyone's like, oh, that was Steven Gerrard-esque, like, oh, what a hit, son. Oh, yeah, beauty, yeah. Andy Gray. It was a fantastic strike. And like I said, he's just playing out of his skin at the minute. You can see he's absolutely buzzing on the adulation he's getting from everybody.
The confidence to let the ball come across him and hit it with the outside and it curl into that top corner from inside out and it go right into the top corner. That's just a beauty. That is just an absolutely cracking goal. And what I'd also say is the third goal was a very, very good goal as well. That's a hell of a header.
Yeah.
From Cody and
who was across for that? Was it Robbo?
I think it was. I'm not 100% sure. But for me, absolute quality. We score goals late, 26 after 75 minutes. That's a big game player. And it puts us into Sunday's game in a good position. I think we're ready to go. I see United are now winning their game.
Oh, you're joking.
No, 85 minutes and Garnacho scored 2 and Fernandez has scored as well. So
I've seen it was 2-2.
I was a little bit concerned. I thought if they get humped, they're going to be more up for Sunday. But if they get away with one tonight, they'll show up with the same arrogance and hopefully we'll be ready. But Klopp won't let that happen to us twice. And you can tag that and people can record this and go, yeah, what happened?
Bookmark it.
Yeah, bookmark it. Do whatever you want. Klopp will not let what happened in the FA Cup happen again. I'm telling you.
Luis Diaz. He has been absolutely sensational the last 2 months. You know who he reminds me of? Do you remember when 21-22, where we nearly won the league, lost out by a point yet again to Man City? It's a little bit like now. We're faltering a little bit, but getting over the line. I felt like Sadio Mane took every game to the opposition. He was like carrying the whole team on his own with like these gigantic levels of effort And I feel like Luis Diaz is like that now. And he's not as good as Sadio Mane. I don't think he ever will be. Sadio Mane was like once in a lifetime. And Luis Diaz does bring the goals that Sadio Mane does. But every time he gets the ball, running it plays, he's got the pace, he's got the skill, turning defenders inside out. I mean, he's another player that has just played himself right into form after a difficult winter. Let's say that. Obviously, what happened with his parents, his form, it kind of dropped off a cliff a bit, but he's banging form. I mean, they're all coming bang into form. Macallister, Luis Diaz, Van Dijk, Connor Bradley, the keeper Kelleher, Joe Gomez. It's all coming right at the right time. But yeah, Luis Diaz is unplayable at the minute. I would just like him to get a goal or two more, but who wouldn't?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's a firework of a player, isn't he? He's just explosive. What I love about him is, and I've been trying to think for a while, who does he remind me of? Because often he's going to cut back. How do you stop him? So the defenders know he's going to do it. They don't know when he's going to do it, and they don't know how abruptly he's going to do it. And as a player who's quite reliant on one of his feet, he really reminds me of Robin at his absolute pomp in the way he cuts back. And they know he's going to do it, but they can't stop it because if he don't, he'll just run past them the other way. But he's an absolute firework of a player. He's relentless. He's so good off the ball as well. You watch his work off the ball. He's closing down, his ability to chase into spaces. He's just his will to just be absolutely on it every moment of every game. What an absolute joy of a player to have on the pitch for your team.
Definitely. And he's in that awkward moment now where we're either giving him a big contract, big money, like 200 grand a week, or we're looking to cash him in for, I don't know, anywhere up to 100 million and then find the next Luis Diaz for 35, 40 million. And personally, I would give him the big contract. Do you know what I mean? Make hay while the sun shines. But if he wanted to go, he's I don't know if they're real reports, but he's flirted with Real and Barca saying it's a dream and all that. And, for these South American players, it's a dream for most of them. But we'll have to just wait and see. I'd give him a new contract for sure.
I think it wouldn't surprise me. And there's a lot of noise about Barcelona in particular. And there's been a lot of things from his family and his dad has said stuff. And obviously, we know that the publicity that gets following, obviously, what happened to him when he speaks, people listen, and he's making a lot of noise about Barcelona. If we need to cash in, it's going to be big money, and they're going to have to stump up, and they're going to have to. If they turn his head, it's just going to cost them, and then we can reinvest that money with our new manager, whoever that might be.
I don't even want to think about that, mate. I don't know about you. Mo Salah. What was up with Mo Salah? What is up with that? What was up with Mo Salah tonight?
I don't know. Maybe he's just resting himself for Sunday.
Well, let's hope so. Because I thought he was right off it tonight. He couldn't have any complaints getting taken off.
No. I think he was more frustrated with himself, wasn't he?
Yeah. But it was one of them when he's coming off. You're like, don't throw your toys out the pram and give like Klopp a half-assed high five, and he can't help himself, can he?
No, he can't, and he's annoyed. And Klopp knows what type of guy he is. He knows he's going to be raging at himself. He's going to be raging at everything. And for me, it's about him just going and making amends on Sunday, and he's going to do it. Because how rare is it that he doesn't score or has a terrible game? You just know a big pitch, Mo Salah, motivated, trying to do what he has to do, and it's going to happen. I'm telling you now.
He loves Man United and he loves Old Trafford, don't he? So it's going to be a hell of a game.
He does.
But the Reds are top of the league. Let me see if I can get the league table up while we're here. The Reds have got no money and we're going to win the league. How does that sound, Obi?
It sounds amazing. The man of the people says, yes, I agree.
Have you posted your Facebook post?
I have indeed, yeah. And people have thanked me for it. I just posted. I posted the top 5 rather than wait for the late game to finish because I didn't think mid-table games really made any difference to anybody.
People will never learn, will they?
No, they won't. No. Let's just hope we see it through. Otherwise, I'll be getting quite a lot of stick on social media, and rightly so.
Let me see if I can figure out how to share this. There we go.
Oh,
that's not even updated.
No.
Why is it not updated?
It's old stuff, isn't it?
Sky Sports. What is wrong with you?
Well, that's what you could have won, Arsenal fans. You could have been top.
Yes.
And I bet you're all getting a little bit excited on like 74 minutes and thinking to yourself, they're going to blow it. They're the bottlers. No, you're the bottlers. We're not the bottlers. We're the boys who have been down this route before. We won the league a few years ago. We've run City close every time. We haven't failed. They've gone on to win it by huge points total. We've never blown an 11-point lead in that manner, like the way it was last year. And I think that'll start playing on Arsenal.
Do you think it's going to go all the way, OB, down to the last day or even just the last 2 days with all three in the mix? Because I think Arsenal are going to fall off. I predicted they're going to drop about 10 points over the next 9 games. They got like Spurs away, Man United away, Chelsea at home. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, Chelsea are not in great form, but it's still a London derby. I think they've got Brighton away next, have they?
Yeah, they have. Yeah, on Saturday or Sunday, isn't it? I was a little bit surprised that they went so defensive at City, because I would have thought they'd have fancied themselves to go out and have a real go. That was a little bit disappointing. City couldn't break them down, and Arsenal didn't really go for it the way I expected them to and fight fire with fire. And it was a bit of a disappointing.
It's a funny one, but then when you go on Twitter or talk to their fans, they're like, "What, you expect us to go to Man City, go toe to toe and get blasted, get called naive, get called bottlers?" And I got them in when I looked at it, I thought, do you know what? Going to Man City and taking a point and restricting them like they did, it's a little bit like fair play to them. But if you want to win a league, you got to be brave. You got to be risky.
They're the games. They're the games where opportunity. You're the ones at the top. They're hitting after you. What you've got to do, you've got to set yourself up to have opportunities to win that game. And I didn't feel like Arsenal did enough. They give up the ball. They decided they weren't going to try and play the normal game, and they just set up to try and hope that they had that moment. And it was a little bit disappointing. But at the end of the day, it's put us back in the driving seat. It's up to us now what we do. We haven't got to play either of them again, but we've got some tricky fixtures ahead. We've got away trips to 2 of our bitterest rivals. We've got a tough home game against Spurs. We've got a really tough one away to Villa.
We've got a double header away to Fulham and away to West Ham.
And they're both hard games.
Yeah. You get them 2 out of the way. I think it's that for me. So it's Man United, Everton, Fulham, and West Ham. You get past them 4 games. We might have a home game in between, like Crystal Palace or someone. But you get to the last 4 games with a lead at the top, 1, 2, 3 points, and you got to start thinking it's on, OB. Come on.
Yeah. You have, but away to Villa is a tough game.
They fell off now. Their home invincibility is dropped. They're getting slapped at home all the time now, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think they've lost something like 3 of the last 5 homes.
Yeah, which is mad. And then having Spurs at home as well, because they'll turn up and they'll have a go. You imagine if we were up against someone like Spurs today, there'd be a lot more space, but would also be under a lot more pressure as a defensive unit, because they'd cause you problems. Son's back and looking like he's in some sort of form. So that's a tough one as well. I mean, there's a long way to go. There's a lot of twists, a lot of turns. Spurs are one of the key teams in it because they've got to play. I think both Arsenal and City have got to go to Spurs, and Spurs have got to play us at Anfield. So they're key games. Whoever
do you know that
against them?
Do you know that Man City have not scored at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium?
Have they not?
Nah. Do you know who said it? It was either Liam Gallagher or Noel Gallagher. They were on TalkSport.
Didn't they knock them out the cup this year?
This might have been 6 months ago they said it.
Yeah,
I remember rushing onto Flash Scores to check. I thought that cannot be right. And I looked every time Spurs were at home, it's 0-0 or they've won 1-0.
Yeah, something tells me that City won there in the Cup or A Cup this year. And I think they scored, I think it was 1-0. I could be wrong. I'm sure somebody will know out there and correct me if I was wrong. But yeah, it's about making sure that you go away and you get a result. And the pressure is going to constantly be on. There's also the European factor of games. There's also a lot of pressure from that and making sure players are fit and making sure they're picking the right team. And the pressure's on the managers and the squads at the moment. So we'll wait and see what happens.
Absolutely. Jose Football Ferez just joined. Big up, Jose. Cheers for joining, brother. Alexis Macallister's biggest fan, only after me and OB, of course, Jose. Nunez goal, Alexis Golazzo, made in South America. Alexis, so underrated. Jose, I've called him the best player in the whole league at the minute. He might even win Football Writers and Players Player of the Year. What do you reckon to that, mate? Let me know your expert opinion. Penalty for Chelsea, 97th minute.
Get in.
Come on, Chelsea. What a game that is that we've missed. 12 people watching. Cheers for tuning, guys. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Obi, let's turn our attention a little bit to Sunday. I'm sure we're going to do a stream either Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon. Quick half an hour maybe to talk about the teams. But come on. Man United are absolutely dreadful. We've played them twice already this season and not beat them once. What is going on? This has to be it on Sunday.
I don't know. I mean, the trouble is it's such a difficult game. It's such a difficult game. It's one of them that it's hard to predict because of what might happen. I thought that we were the better team when we played them in the cup. We just didn't take our chances, and we
were naive, weren't we? I think we were a little bit arrogant. Naive. Let them off the hook. Let's have it real. I'm
certain that won't happen again. Absolutely certain that won't happen again. So we'll see. We'll see. But I think Klopp will have a plan. He'll go out there. He'll probably go after them early, and we'll see a lot of us giving them a lot of space. And Chelsea scored that penalty, by the way. So it's nice. 2 penalties they got. That's Desmond 3-3. They go into it on the back of a 3-3 draw against Chelsea, who drew with Burnley 2 each. So there you go.
I think the key thing that we learned from the FA Cup, OB, was to silence the crowd in the first 20-30 minutes. I felt like we give them a little bit too much respect. The crowd were up for it. Obviously, they got that early goal, and I felt like we were almost riding the storm for the first 30 minutes until we calmed down, shut them up, and then we took over. And what happened for the next 60 minutes, I'll never obviously get over that Anthony equaliser. I keep telling myself it's only the FA Cup, but I still wish I was in it, especially when they drew Coventry in the next round. I mean, talk about a dagger to the heart.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, the way to silence them is to get on top of them early, to beat them early properly, and get a couple of goals past them, and that'll silence them, and then they'll start turning on, I don't know, the Glazers, or
Sir Jim Ratcliffe,
or someone, the cyclist guy that seems to be hanging around. I don't know. They'll turn on somebody. They'll get the green and gold bloody scarves out, and they'll start waving them about. Yeah, the Norwich scarves, and I've got no idea what's going on in that football club. It's a band pot of a football club, but I know that it's a dangerous game. I know they're always going to be up for playing against us, and I just hope that we'll have too much quality for them. We should do. Logic tells you as much.
Amen. Let's hope so. Jose, you're too kind, mate. He's saying he's busy doing his own videos, but he stops just to watch us. Appreciate it, brother.
4-3 to Chelsea.
4-3 Chelsea. Oh, yeah, my God.
Cole Palmer scored 90 plus 11.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I'm going to be tuning in to Two Blues after this.
They'll be going absolutely berserk if they lose that game on Sunday. I think that could be the catalyst for, I don't know,
of Ten Hag.
Possibly. I don't know.
4-3. Oh, mad game. Can't believe we're missing it, but that's what happens.
Well, it's only a mid-table. It's only a mid-table clash anyway, isn't it? So it doesn't really matter that much.
Travis is going to be doing his absolute dinger, and Dan of Two Blues is going to be dancing. I'm going to tune into Dan. Right, OB, let's end it for this evening. Reds are top of the league. Reds have got no money. We're going to win the league. It's on now to Sunday, a huge game at Old Trafford. Let's see when we're available Sunday to do a pre-match, half an hour cup of coffee with my Stranger Things mug again, and then hopefully a live match reaction after, which hopefully Travis will be joining us as well.
Absolutely.
It'll be good. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. If anyone has made it this far, don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe. Really appreciate it. It helps us with the channel, especially if you're new to the channel. Really appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers, OB.
Cheers. Thanks.
You never walk alone.
Exactly. Top of the league.
Oh, you beauty! What a headshot!